The first thing I'm going to do is label each of these scales down here with the warm and cool version of the color. So for red, the cooler is red-violet and the warmer is red-orange. I'm labeling each scale underneath with the initials. Look at the color wheel to determine which color on either side of that color the box is labeled with is warmer and cooler. Then I start in the box with the hue itself. In this case, I'm starting with red. I start to add in a little bit of that cool. In this case, it's red-violet or mulberry. And then on the warm end is the red-orange, which is poppy red in your colored pencils. Notice how I shade those colors in toward the middle, and then I'm layering over with the hue itself, adding a little bit more warm, a little bit more cool, shading those in toward the middle so I get that smooth transitioning gradient. I continue to layer over the hue and try to get it to just transition seamlessly from warm to red to cool. I'm going to do that for every single one of those boxes. In the circle section, I'm going to label this with different versions of color because the way that I shade it is going to make it look three-dimensional. So I'll show you this in a larger scale, but I'm labeling tint, warm, hue, cool, tint, and complement. This is going to make sense once you see it in a larger scale. So I'm starting with just a red circle, and I'm going to lightly sketch in where the highlight will hit because I'm trying to make this look three-dimensional, and where the cast shadow will be. I'll start out by filling the entire circle with an even light layer of red. I want my sphere to be red, so I'm starting just by doing a gentle initial layer there. Now I've taken the warm version of that red, so poppy red, and I'm starting to just lay in a gentle layer around the highlight area. So it's very light, you can barely see, but I'm just starting to layer in that warm version of red. Next, I'll take the cool version of red. So this is mulberry or red-violet. And I'm putting this toward kind of the bottom section of the shadow, where the shadow will be on the sphere. Then I'm taking my red color, my pure hue, and I'm layering that over the top. So I've overlapped the warm and the cool version, and then I'm doing another layer, just kind of coating it in a blanket of red over the top to blend those colors together. I'm going back in and adding a little bit more warm. I'm going back in and adding a little bit more cool. Both times I'm overlapping those colors together, and then I'll go over the top of those overlapped colors and add another layer of pure red. So it's a back and forth, and I continue to add more red over the top of all of my layers to make it look like it's all a red sphere. And I'm doing this until it's just a seamless transition from the tint to the warm to the shade to the cool. And I'm leaving a little bit of that really light red with the paper showing through on the bottom left portion of the circle to get the illusion of of reflected light. Now I'm using pure red and its complementary color, green, in the cast shadow. This is going to create a dull cast shadow color. I'm going to continue layering back and forth red and green in order to get this shadow to look like a dull greenish red. I continue just back and forth layering in red and green until I get that shadow looking right. Finally, I'm going to take my white color pencil and I'm going to clean it off first of all and then burnish the entire thing to make it all look like a seamless, shiny, reflective object. I'm labeling this now so you can see. Tint is the light version of the color. Warm is the warmer version of the color. In this case, it's the poppy red or the red orange. Hue is just the straight up color, which obviously you're overlapping over the entire thing. In the shaded section, we've got cool, so the red violet, and then in that little reflected light, it's tint. And finally, in the cast shadow itself is going to be a combination of the complementary colors. So in this case, red and green. This is how you create form or three-dimensionality with color.